Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all devotees. Now we'll start today's Bhagavatam class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tata Jayam Udiret Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki. Hare Krishna. We continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, chapter 5th, Narada's instruction on Srimad Bhagavatam, shloka number 20 and 21. We try to understand. I recite, only one can loudly speak and all others are in mind speaking. Idam he vishwam bhagavane iva itaraha.
Idam hi vishwam bhagwana eva itarah.
Yatah jagat sthana nirodha sambhavaha.
Yatah jagat sthana nirodha sambhavaha.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Are you not hearing?
Sorry, Mataji, सुनाई नहीं आया.
यतः जगत स्थान निरोध संभवाः.
यतः जगत स्थान निरोध संभवाः.
तति स्वयं वेद भवान् तथापि ते.
तद्धि स्वयं वेद भवान् तथापि ते.
प्रादेशमात्रं भवतः प्रदर्शितम्.
प्रादेशमात्रं भवतः प्रदर्शितम्.
त्वम् आत्मना आत्मानम् एव हि अमोघदृक्.
त्वम् आत्मनम् आत्मनम् वेह इव मोघदृक्ः.
परस्य पुंसः परमात्मनः कलाम्.
परस्य पुंसः परमात्मनः कलाम्.
अजं प्रजातं जगतः शिवाय तत्.
अजं प्रजातं जगतः शिवाय तन्.
महा अनुभव अभ्युदय दिक् गण्यताम्.
महा अनुभाव अभ्युदया अधिगण्यताम्.
इदमे विश्वं भगवान इव इतरः.
इदं हि विश्वं भगवान इव इतरः.
यतः जगत्स्थान निरोध संभवाः.
यतः जगत्स्थान निरोध संभवाः.
तद्धि स्वयं वेद भवान् तथापि ते.
तद्धि स्वयं वेद भवान् तथापि ते.
तद्धि प्रादेश मात्रं भवतः प्रदर्शितम्.
प्रादेश मात्रं भवतः प्रदर्शितम्.
त्वम् आत्मना आत्मानम् अवेहि अमोघदृक्.
त्वम् आत्मानात् आत्मनम् अवेहि अमोघदृक्.
परस्य पुंसः परमात्मनः कलाम्.
परस्य पुंसः परमात्मनः कलाम्.
अजं प्रजातं जगतः शिवाय तत्.
अजं प्रजातं जगतः शिवाय तत्.
महा अनुभव अभ्युदय अधिगण्यताम्.
महा अनुभाव अभ्युदयः अधिगण्यताम्.
इदमे विश्वं भगवान इव इतरः.
इदं हि विश्वं भगवान इव इतरः.
यतः जगत्स्थान निरोध संभवाः.
यतः
तद्धि
जगत्स्थान
स्वयं वेद
निरोध
भवान्
संभवाः.
तथापि ते. तद्धि स्वयं वेद भवान् तथापि ते.
तद्धि स्वयं वेद भवान् तथापि ते.
प्रादेशमात्रं भवतः प्रदर्शितम्
प्रादेशमात्रं भवतः प्रदर्शितम्
त्वम् आत्मना आत्मानम् अवेहि अमोघदृक्
त्वम् आत्मनम् अवेहि अमोघदृक्
अवेहि दृक् परस्य पुंसः परमात्मनः कलाम्
परस्य पुंसः परमात्मनः कलाम्
अजं प्रजातं जगतः शिवाय तत्
अजं प्रजातं जगतः शिवाय तत्
महा अणुभाव अभ्युदय अधिगण्यताम्
महानुभावाभ्युदय अधिगण्यताम् इदं हि विश्वं भगवानीवैतरः यतः जगत्स्थान निरोध संभवा तद्धि स्वयं वेद भवान् तथापि ते प्रादेश मात्रं भवतः प्रदर्शितं त्वम् आत्मनम् अवेहि अमोघदृक् परस्य पुंसः परमा आत्मनः कलाम् अजं प्रजातं जगतः शिवाय तत् महानुभावाभ्युदय अधिगण्यताम् पूनम माताजी
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। इदं हि विश्वं भगवान एवैतरो यतो जगत स्थान निरोध संभवा तदधि स्वयं वेद भवां तथापि ते प्रादेश मात्रं भवता प्रदर्शितं त्वा आत्मना आत्मानम् अवैः अमोघ दृक् परस्य पुंसा परमात्मना कलाम् अजं प्रजातं जगत शिवाय तन् महा अनुभाव अभ्युदयो अधिगणयतम्।
डॉक्टर कृपा माताजी
Thank you, Prabhuji. Idam hi Vishwam Bhagavan Iva Itaraha Yada Jagat Sthana Virodha Sambhavaha Tat hi Swayam Veda Bhavan Tata Apite Pradesha Matram Bhavat Pradastam Tvam Atmanam Ave Amogadrik Parasaya Pumsam Paramatmana Kalam Ajam Prajadam Jagadat Sivayatan Maha Anubhava
अभ्युदय
Ganyatam
अधिगण्यताम्
Ganyatam. Thank you, Mother.
Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead is himself, this cosmos, and still he is aloof from it. From him only has this cosmic manifestation emanated, in him it rests, and unto him it enters after annihilation. Your good self, your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the super soul personality of Godhead because you are present as the plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. Please therefore describe the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, more vividly. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. For a pure devotee, the conception of Mukunda, Lord Sri Krishna, is both personal and impersonal. The impersonal cosmic situation is also Mukunda because it is the emanation of the energy of Mukunda. For example, a tree is a complete unit, whereas the leaves and the branches of the tree are emanated parts and parcels of the tree. The leaves and branches of the tree are also the tree, but the tree itself is neither the leaves nor the branches. The Vedic version that the whole cosmic creation is nothing but Brahman means that since everything is emanating from the Supreme Brahman, nothing is apart from him. Similarly, the part and parcel, hands and legs are called the body, but the body as the whole unit is neither the hands nor the legs. The Lord is transcendental, form of eternity, cognition, and beauty, and thus the creation of the energy of the Lord appears to be partially eternal, full of knowledge, and beautiful also. The captivated conditioned souls under the influence of the external energy, Maya, are therefore entrapped in the network of the material nature. They accept this as all in all, for they have no information of the Lord, who is the primeval cause, nor have they information that the part and parcel of the body being detached from the whole body are no longer the same head or leg as when attached to the body. Similarly, a godless civilization detached from the transcendental living service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is just like a detached hand or leg. Such parts and parcels may appear like hands and legs, but they have no efficiency. The duty of the Lord. Srila Vasdeva knows this very well. He is further advised by Srila Narada to expand the idea so that the entrapped conditioned souls may take lesson from him to understand the Supreme Lord as the primeval cause. According to the Vedic version, the Lord is naturally fully powerful, and thus his supreme energies are always perfect and identical with him. Both the spiritual and the material skies and their paraphernalia are emanations of the internal and external energies of the Lord. The external energy is comparatively inferior, whereas the internal potency is superior. The superior energy is living force, and therefore she is completely identical. But the external energy, being inert, is partially identical. Both the energies are neither equal to nor greater than the Lord, who is the generator of all energy. Such energies are always under his control, exactly as electrical energy, however powerful it may be, is always under the control of the engineer. The human being and all other living beings are products of his internal energies. Thus, the living being is also identical with the Lord, but he is never equal or superior to the personality of Godhead. The Lord and living being are all individual persons. With the help of the material energies, the living beings are also creating something, but none of their creations are equal or superior to the creations of the Lord. The human being may create a small playful Sputnik and may throw it into outer space, but that does not mean that he can create a planet like the earth or moon and float it in the air as the Lord does. Men with a poor fund of knowledge claim to be equal to the Lord. They are never equal to the Lord. This is never to be. The human being, after attaining complete perfection, may achieve a large percentage of the qualities of the Lord, say up to 78%. But it is never possible to surpass the Lord or to become equal with him. In a diseased condition only, the foolish being claims to be one with the Lord and thus becomes misled by the illusory energy. The misguided living beings therefore must accept the supremacy of the Lord and agree to render loving service to him. For this, they have been created. Without this, there cannot be any peace or tranquility in the world. Srila Vasudeva is advised by Srila Narada to expand this idea in the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad-gita, also the same idea is explained. Surrender fully unto the lotus feet of the Lord. That is the only business of the perfect human being. Srila Vasudeva is the empowered plenary portion, incarnation of the personality of Godhead. Sri Krishna, he descended by his causeless mercy to deliver the fallen souls in the material world. The fallen and forgotten souls are detached from the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The living entities are parts and parcels of the Lord, and they are eternally servitor of the Lord. All the Vedic literatures, therefore, are put into systematic order for the benefit of the fallen soul, and it is the duty of the fallen souls to take advantage of such literatures and be freed from the bondage of material existence. Although formally Srila Narad Rishi is his spiritual master, Srila Vasudeva is not at all dependent on a spiritual master, because in a sense he is the spiritual master of everyone else, but because he is doing the work of an acharya, he has taught us by his own conduct that one must have a spiritual master, even though he be God himself. Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Rama, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all incarnations of Godhead, accepted formal spiritual master, although by their transcendental nature, they were cognizant of all knowledge in order to direct people in general to the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krishna. He himself, in the incarnation of Vasudeva, is delineating the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guroho Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Sam Sajivam Dvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात देशतारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा. We try to understand shloka number 20 and 21. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. So, very important shloka, which in fact reminds us of another shloka of how Krishna demonstrates its Virat Roop to Arjuna in Bhagavad-gita, 11th canto. So Krishna says, Iha ekastham jagat krutsnam pashya adaya sacharacharam mama dehe gudakesha yatcha anya drashtumichhasi. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place. Now just look. A devotee like Arjuna can see everything that exists in any part of the universe. Krishna gives him the power to see anything he wants to see. Past, present, future. And thus, by the mercy of Krishna, Arjuna is able to see everything. The whole universe was in Krishna, and Krishna was still in this material world on this planet Earth. Just think how that episode would have been. If you go a little back, look at how Yashoda Maiya was hypnotized. There was a complaint that your Lalla has eaten mud. Yashoda Maiya runs to chastise him, asks him to open mouth. He says, no, Mamma. He says, open mouth. He says, okay, Mamma. And the moment he opens the mouth, the whole cosmos is saved. That is what this shloka is trying to tell us. That the whole universe rests in Krishna, and still Krishna is not affected by it. So we need to understand Krishna's transcendental position and disposition. Being the source of everything, including time and space, is never limited by his emanations. During his pastimes here, he seems like us, finite, but he can at will exhibit powers impossible for anyone. And that is what Bhagavad-gita 11.7 reports. How, while seeming to be a person on a battlefield within the universe, demonstrated that the whole universe was within. So meditating on Krishna's transcendental position and disposition is important, because then we can realize his supreme lovability. redirect our love from the world to Him, and gradually release intimate love for Him. See, it is just like the hands and legs, which are parts and parcels of the body. But hands and legs is not the body. And the body does not mean only hands and legs. It also has face, stomach, trunk, and so many other things. So the whole cosmic creation is nothing but Brahman. What it means is that since everything is emanating from the Supreme Brahman, nothing is apart from Him. The Lord is the transcendental form of eternity, cognition, beauty, Sat Chit Anand. And thus, the creation of the energy of the Lord is also partially eternal, full of knowledge, and beautiful also. And that is why Prabhupada ji repeatedly says that a godless civilization, which is detached from transcendental loving service of God, is like a detached hand or leg. Detached hand leg is useless. So similarly, such parts and parcels have no efficiency. So Srila Narada advises to expand this idea so that entrapped, conditioned souls may take lessons to understand the Supreme Lord as primeval cause. Sarva Karana Karanam. Lord is naturally fully powerful. And so, even his supreme energies are always perfect and identical with him. The spiritual, the material skies, paraphernalia, emanations, they are manifestations of the internal and external energies of the body. The external energy is inferior. So, internal potency is superior. So, the superior energy, which is the living force, it is nearly identical. And external energy, being inert, is partially identical. Now, Lord is the generator of all these energies. So, the energies are always under His control. Like right now, we are in this room, in this office. So, there's electrical energy. So, it is very powerful. But it is always under the control of the engineer who has generated it, who is controlling the flow. So, human being and all other livings are similarly, though products of his internal energy, are under control. Krishna is the controller and we are the controller. And we just have one role, and that is of service to Krishna. Humans, after attaining complete perfection, may achieve a large percentage of qualities of Lord, but only up to 78%. And it is never possible to surpass the Lord or even become equal to Him. In Bhagavad-gita, same idea is explained. And that is why Krishna says, fully surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord. That is the only business of a perfect human being. Now, if we talk of Sri Vyasdev, whom these all instructions are being passed on, he is actually the plenary portion of God. And the fallen and forgotten souls are detached from transcendental loving service of Lord. So, though parts and parcels, they are supposed to be eternal servitors, but they have forgotten. Now, Narad Rishi is spiritual master of Sri Vyasdev. But then Vyasdev is not dependent because he is spiritual master of everyone else. And that is why we have this Sanskrit, what is a proverb? Jagat Sarvam Vyasochistam. But because he is doing the work of Acharya, he is also teaching us by his own conduct how a spiritual master should be, even if he is a god. So this is the process of getting transcendental knowledge. That is, to approach a proper person, the Guru, and submissively hear from him. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. And the Vedas also say the same thing. Tad vidyanartham sagaram eva abhigaccheta. So if we want to understand spiritual knowledge, we have to approach a Guru. Now, if you look at the word Guru, it means weighty. Therefore, the Guru is one who is heavy with knowledge. And what is that knowledge? That is explained in Kathopanishadam. Shrotriyam Brahma Nishtam. So one must always hear from those in the line of preceptorial succession or disciplic succession. Lord Krishna says this in Bhagavad-gita also. Evam parampara prap. So if one wants to understand standard transcendental knowledge, he must receive it from parampara system, the disciplic succession. Now, when we use this word strotriyam brahmanishtam, so another meaning of the word strotriyam is one who has heard from a guru in disciplic succession. And what is the result of such hearing? That is brahmanishtam. He is firmly fixed in the service of Krishna. So basically, there are two main qualifications of a bona fide guru. One, he simply needs to have heard from the authority in disciplic succession. And two, he must be fixed in devotional service. So that is what is important. And when this way the knowledge is transferred, the actual knowledge gets precipitated. And it has got a huge potential. Krishna's katha has a potency. Like we saw yesterday, how a small seed, if we sow, it becomes a big tree. From that big tree, millions of fruits come out. And again from that, each fruit, millions of trees. So the potency in small seed, even sunshine, that has got the potential. It is spread all over. Everything is existing on sunshine. So just consider how much potency Krishna will have, who is the creator of that sun. And so we need to come to the conclusion. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So everything is there. Narad Muniji is trying to tell Vyasdevji, you know everything all right. You have got the vision. But now you need to ensure that you utilize this vision to help those fallen souls get out of this bad situation. That is very, very important. So, please describe the transcendental pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, more vividly. Maha Anubhava Abhyudhaya Adhiganyatam. So, Adhiganyatam means describe most vividly. What? Abhyudayaha, pastimes of whom? Maha Anubhava. That is Shri Krishna. So, Narad Muniji has now given the instructions, and let us see how it all spans forward tomorrow onwards. Hare Krishna.